Hello fans, welcome to Man Utd Transfer HQ. Stay updated with the latest transfer gossip and breaking news.
Our today news is 5 reasons Ruben Amorim could quit Man United amid Sir Jim Ratcliffe issues and unhappy players. Ruben Amorim has only been in the Manchester United hot seat for 3 months, but already cracks have emerged both on the pitch and behind the scenes to hint at an early divorce. Ruben Amorim was under no illusions that he was taking on a task of epic proportions when he agreed to become Manchester United manager. Amorim continually emphasized that he was not a miracle worker after walking through the door at Carrington in November. He stressed that what he wanted to achieve at United would take time and called for patience, but just 3 months into his spell in charge at Old Trafford, there are already worrying signs, with whispers of his unhappiness surfacing amid suggestions Amorim could consider his future already. United sit 15th in the Premier League table, with the club in the middle of their worst league campaign for 51 years. Amorim has managed 10 wins from his 21 games across all competitions, with the highs of their draw at Anfield and victory over Arsenal in the FA Cup overshadowed by the much more regular crushing lows. Things are not going to plan, but could Amorim really be pondering a swift exit from one of the biggest jobs in football? Arguably the biggest reason for unhappiness across the board at United is Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who has embarked upon a disaster class in his first year of owning the club. The petrochemicals billionaire arrived last February on a wave of goodwill, due to the unpopularity of the Glazer family, but public opinion has turned since. Ratcliffe has spent the past year cutting costs all over the place, making staff redundant, including Sir Alex Ferguson, while generally making himself into a Scrooge figure. His impact behind the scenes cannot have made Carrington a happy place to work for Amorim and his coaching staff. Those savings have extended into footballing matters, with Ratcliffe making it clear that what he sees as the previous culture of excess needs changing. The January transfer window started with the bombshell that United were willing to listen to offers for any of Amorim's squad, a stance which set the tone for what was to come. While United did sign Patrick Dorgu to fill the problem position of left wing-back, they did not bring in the striker that Amorim craved. To compound matters, they actually weakened the position by letting forwards Marcus Rashford and Antony leave on loan. One of Ratcliffe's biggest blunders came in the form of Dan Ashworth. United went through a great deal of strife to land Ashworth from Newcastle, paying around £3 million to services after a bitter dispute, only to sack him 5 months later following disputes behind the scenes. Stay tuned for more updates on Man Utd Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more Man United transfer news. Our second news is Sir Dave Brailsford's new role at Man United as £50 million plan gathers pace. Manchester United are currently renovating their training ground at Carrington amid a £50 million investment as cost-cutting takes place elsewhere, with Sir Dave Brailsford more present. Sir Jim Ratcliffe's right-hand man Sir Dave Brailsford has relocated as he leads a Manchester United transformation. While Ruben Amorim is having a difficult time turning around matters on the pitch, Ineos head of sport Brailsford is said to have temporarily moved from Monaco in a bid to add leadership during a turbulent period at Old Trafford, per Mail Online. While Brailsford's Carrington presence comes amid cost-cutting and job losses, he has also proven to be a key figure in United's training ground renovation. The £50 million project got underway last June, with contractors long since starting work. United's first-team squad controversially shifted into the women's team's facilities while the work continues. The work is expected to last the entirety of the 2024-25 season, with plans to revamp the gym, medical, nutrition and recovery areas of the training ground. There is also a design emphasis on creating more space for collaboration and innovation among players and staff. The club intends to ensure they have training facilities which match the very best, having fallen behind their rivals. After confirming plans, Ratcliffe spoke of his ambition for what the training ground offers the first team at Carrington. He said, "We want to create a world-class environment for our teams to win." When we conducted a thorough review of the Carrington training facilities and met with our men's first-team players, it was clear the standards had fallen below some of our peers. This project will ensure Manchester United's training ground is once more renovated to the highest standards. Foster and Partners were appointed as the architecture firm to design the £50 million revamp. They have previously overseen the likes of the transformation of Wembley. Lord Foster said, "We are delighted to lead the renewal of Manchester United's training facility in Carrington. Our aim is to modernise and revitalise the building as a catalyst for future footballing success, creating spaces that inspire a culture of collaboration, unity, and belonging. As a proud Mancunian, it is a particular honour for me to see Foster Plus Partners given this responsibility, and we will ensure that our design captures the spirit of industry, grit and ambition that exemplifies both Manchester and Manchester United." Previous to last summer, United opened a separate building at Carrington for the academy and women's teams. The £10 million investment is now required to house the first team squad, however, with the women's side moved into portable buildings. Stay tuned for more updates on Man Utd Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more Man United transfer news. Our third news is Man United given 5 reasons to complete transfer to re-sign Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba will soon be permitted to return to footballing action after serving his doping ban, but needs a new club after parting ways with Serie A side Juventus earlier this season. Manchester United have been told former star Paul Pogba could aid Ruben Amorim's bid to salvage the Red Devils' season. Former United forward Louis Saha has revealed he would take Pogba back at Old Trafford, in a heartbeat, as the Frenchman prepares to make his return to football. The 31-year-old was allowed to begin training in January following his doping ban, and can return to playing in March. Pogba received an 18-month ban after testing positive for non-endogenous testosterone in September 2023, and in November 2024 the midfielder parted ways with Juventus via mutual consent. That, according to Saha, leaves United with an opportunity they can take advantage of as they deal with a number of injuries. The former Fulham, Everton and Newcastle striker reckons a move could be mutually beneficial and that Pogba, in search of rejuvenating his career, could offer quality, confidence, leadership and a guarantee for United head coach Amorim as his side languishes in the Premier League. "Yes, I would take Paul Pogba back at Manchester United in a heartbeat," Pogba told best betting sites. "It's not only because of the squad that we have now with injuries and all that, but for all the elements that he brings as a player. We need guarantees, we need quality, we need confidence, we need leadership, and this guy now has an opportunity to show how much he wants it. Pogba can show he has the ability to be one of the best in the league in this position, especially with the motivation and the focus that he has to understand where he can improve and what parts of his game he needs to adapt. Pogba has to focus on himself and think, all those things that I've done in the past, I should not do anymore. It's an opportunity to sign someone who is highly motivated. He's going to obviously still have huge confidence about his ability. I'm sure that when he looks at this midfield at United, he has a different type of vibe in his game. So definitely it's an easy fit. I think that he will communicate with the manager. He would be humble after the situation. He's been injured, he's been banned. I'm sure Pogba wants the visibility. He wants to go back to a French team as soon as possible, so he just needs to pick the right project. For him to get back into the national team, he needs to show that he can still do it at the top level. United would be signing a player that is completely dedicated and focused on achieving his goals, because he's been out of the game for so long. Stay tuned for more updates on Man Utd Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more Man United transfer news. Our fourth news is ally McCoist cleared by OFCOM over comments made during Man United vs Rangers clash. OFCOM received 14 complaints over comments ally McCoist made while commentating on Manchester United's Europa League clash with Rangers, and he has now been cleared. Ally McCoist has been cleared by OFCOM following complaints over comments he made during Manchester United's 2-1 win over Rangers last month. McCoist was commentating on the Europa League clash for TNT Sports and was complimentary of the travelling Rangers supporters during the game. After lead commentator Darren Fletcher touched on the noise the Rangers fans were making, he told McCoist, "I'll let you speak about them." To which the Rangers legend responded, "They're amazing, that lot." However, McCoist's comments were criticized by some, including SNP MSP James Dornan, with the Rangers fans heard chanting F*** the Pope and the IRA at the time he made them. OFCOM received 14 complaints over the incident and they have now cleared McCoist of breaching the broadcasting code after investigating. In a statement, OFCOM said, "Complaints related to chanting by fans," and to ally McCoist describing the supporters as "amazing." As the chants were not clearly discernible and the comment from ally McCoist appeared to refer to the general atmosphere, our assessment found that the content did not raise issues under our rules. Both Rangers and United ended up finishing in the top 8 of the revamped league phase of the tournament, meaning they have advanced directly to the round of 16 and avoided the playoffs. Rangers will face either the winner of Bodo/Glimt's playoff clash with FC Twente or the winner of Fenerbahçe's tie with Anderlecht, while United will take on either the winner of AZ Alkmaar vs Galatasaray or the winner of FC Midtjylland vs Real Sociedad. Despite the two sides enjoying a successful European campaign so far, their domestic exploits have not gone to plan. United are currently languishing 15th and are on course for their worst ever Premier League season. Rangers, meanwhile, sit 13 points behind fierce rivals Celtic in the Scottish Premiership, and manager Philippe Clement has come under huge pressure. When quizzed about his future following Rangers' shock Scottish Cup exit against second-tier side Queen's Park earlier this month, Clement said, "They built credit back over the last weeks and months with the fans, but they lost everything of that credit. This is not acceptable to lose against Queen's Park in the Cup. It happened several times in the past. We know it's a rebuild. It's not because you lose a game you would normally win 99 times out of 100 that things change about the way things are working." Stay tuned for more updates on Man Utd Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more Man United transfer news. Our last news is ex-Arsenal star says club misjudged him for wearing heels, "It was used against me." A former Arsenal star has opened up about his time at the club, with academy graduate Miguel Aziz claiming he was misjudged before his eventual departure last year. Former Arsenal midfielder Miguel Aziz says he felt misjudged during his time at the club and believes an unfair perception that he was aloof was used against him. Aziz came through Arsenal's academy and made one first-team appearance in the Europa League in 2020. He spent time out on loan at Portsmouth, Ibiza and Wigan before making a permanent move to Spanish club Atletico Baleares last year. Aziz is now plying his trade in the Greek second division with PAS Giannina and has reflected on his time at Arsenal in an interview with The Athletic, claiming the club wanted a different image to what I was giving after he became interested in music, art and fashion. "I definitely felt, not adversity, but being misjudged," Aziz said. "Ask anyone at Arsenal, I was always first into training and last to leave. If I looked like a quintessential footballer they would not have thought anything of it, but because of how I looked, the hairstyles, the face, jewelry, whatever it was, they would say, he is trying to be aloof by coming in early to be by himself. I was just trying to improve." That word aloof was used against me at Arsenal. My teammates were in the changing room on their phones on Snapchat when I was in the gym working, but they would just see me by myself and put 2 and 2 together. The players seemed to take to it, which was nice. It was from the coaching side of things. I don't know if it was an upbringing thing or a hierarchy thing. I took it as people thinking, who does he think he is? Does he think he is better than me? Nah, I'm just being myself. I'm not causing any harm by wearing a pair of heels. There was always this thing representing the badge. I get that, but I think they wanted a different image to what I was giving. I guess there's a lot of people who would change their personalities just to get to where they felt they needed to be. I've always said I'm a person who plays football. When people start to think they are a footballer before they're a person, that's when they start to change who they are. Stay tuned for more updates on Man Utd Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more Man United transfer news.